bad. Welcome to the start of a brand new anime review series. This is Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Anime review, episode number 1. This is reviewing the first 2 episodes of the series, which cover the first 3 chapters and about, I think, like the first 4 pages of like chapter, I think it was like 4. Yeah, it's actually first 10 pages. Now this is sort of the Easton enrollment arc, which actually ends with the last episode discussed here before. Now, here's the thing with this one. I will be adding this to my interview schedule once I catch up with the series. I got into this one purely because basically I heard it was actually really good. Like the manga anyways, and then I saw the animation, like, okay, this looks interesting. Basically, Martial Magic and Muscles is a mixture of Black Clover, One Punch Man, and Harry Potter. No, I'm not kidding about that. It is literally a mixture of those 3. I'd say in the case of One Punch Man, mostly the main character, Marshall, Mosh. Yeah, this guy who is a big, humongous bodybuilder. Now, here's the thing. Dark Ages Society, yeah, he's got barbells. Yes, seriously. Where the heck get those? Never explained. They do explain kind of where he came from. The fact that, well, his adopter found him, who's 75 years old, and Marshall seems like he's about his teens. So, does this mean basically when his adopter first found him with a flashback in episode 1, he was 60? He didn't look 60. He looked like he aged 25 years. So, we started off with, we have Mosh, like his old, like they explain how to explain the world, like everybody's got magic, and they don't much about the inferior magic per se. Is everybody's born with a mark on their face? Yes, a mark. And then we see Mosh where he's lifting weights. I'm like, a medieval society, and he's seen lifting weights on an actual weight bench and lifting weights like freaking crazy, and the guy is jacked. Yes, he is freaking jacked. And his one major weakness shown in these 2 episodes, he apparently does not know how to use a door. He keeps forgetting how to use a door properly. Yeah, because he gets back on with he's like, oh, just relaxing, use magic, and all of a sudden, basically, like, he forgets how to use a door. And he also forgets basically in particular to turn the door. Yes, he's kind of that stupid, but he's very sincere, basically, his apologies. And they explain apparently that his stuff was not really good magic very much. He kept getting fired. And it seems like about to commit suicide. And then you hear a baby crying, which of course is Mosh. And he adopts him. He practically just raises him right in the wild. He, of course, does have a mark on his face. So apparently not having a mark on his face is a target for execution in this series. Excuse me. I'm like, that's prejudice. Yes. And apparently, way society works, it depends on your level of magic, that depends upon your status. Yeah. That's how that works. So, Mosh is told, don't go to the town. And he does anyways. Oh, he has a thing for loving cream puffs. Yes, he finishes his workout. He's like, oh, time for cream puffs. Yum, 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 yum. Yes, eats cream puffs. And then he just, says he's not going to town, but he's hungry, so he decided to sneak into town wearing a hood. And people see him without a mark on it. It causes a bit of disturbance, and, he's like walking home, and of course we have this magic police officer who's stopping him. He gets his shirt, he's like, I'll take him and wash it. It's a ripping guy's shirt. And then we see, and by the way, Mosh is voiced by Aka Lee. I've seen a few of the series. And it's so hilarious. Before this, we see Brad, who I can tell by his voice, that is obviously Patrick Stoltz voicing him. Yes. Where he's torching a prison, he's informed about the name of the mark, and he's told to stop, and then it basically is like he's about to do something, and then his husband comes in. Well, of course, he bought some cream puffs, and then he's like, he apologized for going to town, and then we see also the fact that Brad had also unleashed a bird. A magic bird to find him. And he just busts down the wall. Mosh, of course, is told to get away, but then he destroys the door and just easily beats up Brad's two subordinates really easily. Brad himself basically launches a bunch of spells on him. He just smacks him like the first guy. He comes in, punches him. The other guy, the big guy, he just slap, rips his shirt again. It's like, oh no, not again. And then he bows Brad. He's like, oh, here's this. Smack. I use this to deflect a dragon. Whoosh. And this lasts for quite a while. And then, of course, there's stuff like, hey, can I borrow this? And instead of, using it, he throws the magic wand right at Brad into the wall. Not breaking it, of course. And this is so hilarious. And, of course, Brad, in exchange for not telling anybody about this, he enrolls in magic school. So he gets himself a new robe. And that ends the first episode. I thought that was really fun. And the very next episode, the entrance exam. Like, okay, and of course, this is so funny. And then we have their teacher for the episode. His name is Claude Lucci. Yes. No credit for some of his English dub actors for some reason. I do not know why. Maybe I have updated. It's like, okay, so the Magic's called Easton Magic Academy. So he's tasked basically to basically somebody. And then he's like, here's stop. I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, oh crap, we see a kid, you see Mashle, he's lifting weights, and then he sits in a physical chair reading a book about fitness. Yes, I thought it was so funny. And he comes on and just like, why you, and of course he obviously calls the whole fire thing, some of the deaths, like, why'd you put me here in the first place? And then you're tasked simply to stop the magical questions moving around. And he does it by breaking his pen on it. Yes, seriously. Breaking his pen, and he does in less than 30 minutes. And it devises various other traps. And then we have the maze portion. Yes, go through a maze. Yeah, which I found this to be so funny. Yeah, and he's able to basically get to the air stuff, no problem. You see him like running across water, smashing more stuff. He goes to the maze, easily goes through it, not much of an issue. And we see debut of Lemon. Yes, Lemon. That's her name. She is voiced, of course, the wiki site does not list the Wikipedia does. Lemon Irvine is voiced by Adjia Karbakini. So she follows him around, gets in some traps, and of course she stops him by handcuffing because that apparently hurts power, and then he breaks up with no problem. And then he leaves around the corner, and then all of a sudden we see a Sphinx come by. Yes, a Sphinx. And gives him really like, well, has 2 legs in the morning, like 4 legs during the daytime, and 3 at night. And of course she doesn't know the answer. And Mosh comes around and punches him right in the face. Like, a thing like that cannot exist. And then, of course, like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna basically, like, you fail. And then he just walks right out right after he punches through walls. Yes. Which normally they count as cheating. And, of course, then you have it where Mosh easily deals it pretty easily by, like, oh, let's just walk up to him and basically just snap his wand in half one-handed. The headmaster sees this, like, oh, I'm going to expel you and you. It's like, nope, you're not going to do that. I'm going to interview him. And, of course, he interviews him, and, of course, he threatens his adopted father. And, of course, he has to stop it thanks to the fact he's very noble. And accepts him in the part of school, no problem. And they get the dorm room, and we see that he still has the problem with doors. Yes, he still has a problem with a door. He's like, why is there room with a door? And Mosh apparently are set up in his room. Like, there's weights all over the place because he loves working out. And we mentioned, he needs all his muscles here. And, of course, they mentioned about the whole thing with the school. Really good scene here, and I thoroughly enjoyed. By the way, his roommate's name, Finn Amos, voiced by Brian Timothy Anderson. Yep. Who was actually, I think, for his first episode, he does a really good job. Yep. But, yeah, that's pretty much 2 episodes in a nutshell. I had a lot of fun watching these episodes. This is so funny. Yes, Mosh is hilarious. Yep. But, yeah, that's particular view. Stay tuned for, if I got time to, Dr. Stone. Okay, next video. Bye.